Welcome to the Casters and Range of feeder rods from Daiwa. So there's 4 rods in the Casters and Range. First of all, you've got the 11.6. Now this to me is perfect for sort of short to mid-range open-end feeder work. Say skimmers and bream, can do a little bit of roach fishing, but more geared towards bigger fish. It'll also do your commercial work, so sort of bomb and pellet if you wanted a rod for bigger fish, maybe 6 to 10 pound class carp. But also if you wanted a short rod that could chuck a method or a hybrid feeder a long way, then this is the rod for you. Next up is the 12.6. Probably my favourite rod in the range, purely for the fact it suits the type of fishing I'm doing at the moment. Ideal for venues like ferry meadows where you're catching big bream and skimmers, but also suitable for venues like Southfield. That said, again, it can do the commercial side of things, and if you wanted a rod for bastard and for casting a method or hybrid feeder 80-90 metres, then this is the perfect rod for you. Moving on from the 12.6, the next rod in the range is the 13.6. Now this to me is more of an out and out distance rod. Say if you're fishing big locks or wild waters and you want to punch a feeder like an open end or even a rocket, maybe a window feeder a long way, then this is the rod for you. That said, again, it is suitable for commercials, and if you're going to a venue where you wanted to chuck a method or hybrid feeder a long way, then it'll do that too. Last but certainly not least is the 14.2. Now if the 13.6 is a distance tool, then this one is certainly one. Ideal for big rivers, chucking heavy feeders on venues like the Trent, the Severn, that type of venue. But equally, I spend a lot of time at Boddington in the winter. Sometimes I've got to go 120, 130 metre casts with a method or hybrid feeder, and this rod will do that and then some more. The Casters and Range is literally packed with features right from the butt to the tip. Starting off with the rods themselves, they're made of HVF Nano Plus high volume fibre carbon. What this gives is a really crisp feel. It just means when you're casting, etc., they correct themselves a lot quicker, which gives you a little bit more in terms of distance. Going back to the actual rod, the butt features the arm lock design, which has been very popular with anglers over the years. Super comfortable when you're playing a fish. Reel seat, we've got a Fuji down locking reel seat, really comfy in the hand, makes locking the reel in place super simple as well. As we move up, for feeder fishing, I always like big guides on a rod. The Casters and Range features sea guides. They're slightly oversized, so they're big, so they suit shot leader work and long distance casting, but they're also very light, very hard wearing. So you can be used with both braid and mono, so they really can do it all. Lastly, we've got V-joint. Now, for those that don't know what V-joint is, when you have a joint in a rod, sometimes it can create a flat spot which doesn't look great both when you're casting or playing a fish. Now V-joint eliminates this and creates a more progressive through action, which is great for both fish playing and casting, and in turn it will put extra yards on your cast. Right, the Casters and Range incorporate the tournament distance quiver tips. Each rod comes with 3 quivers. So if you look at the range, there really is a quiver tip to suit every eventuality. As for the quivers themselves, there's a couple of key features. Firstly, they feature big guides, so they're perfect for shot leader work, perfect for any sort of distance casting. Just means you're going to get less tangles on the cast. Something else you might notice is the rings are actually quite widely spaced. Again, this is something we've really worked hard on. We've looked at distance fishing and trying to avoid any tangles or wrapovers, and the ring spacing we've come up with, we feel is the optimum for this type of fishing. Lastly, you might notice from the original tournament distance quivers, put slightly less colour on them. I find this just makes them easier to focus on when you're looking for bites. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, bites are what we're looking to get, and if it makes it easier to see them, then it's got to be a win-win as far as I'm concerned. One of the key considerations with the casters and range was the handle length on the rods. Now, bearing in mind we're looking for rods that are going to be able to chuck feeders quite a long way, what we've gone for is handles that are slightly longer than the norm. The reason behind this is it gives more leverage on the cast, and more leverage means more distance, and obviously more distance in certain situations can mean more bites. Another important point to make about the casters and Ranger rods is, yes, they've got lots of power in the butt to make casting easy, but at the same time they've got a really nice playing action, so when you are catching fish like bream and skimmers, you're not going to pull the hook out. So you really are getting the best of both worlds. Power in the butt for casting, but a playing action, which means you can still fish for smaller fish on natural waters with total confidence. So there you have it. To sum up, whether it be naturals or commercials, there's something in the casters and range for everyone.